I now ask unanimous consent to consider in block the following bills: H.R. 2137, H.R. 3123, H.R. 3834, H.R. 2701, H.R. 2721, H.R. 3767, H.R. 2791, H.R. 3481, H.R. 3579, H.R. 2954, H.R. 3812, and H.R. 2034, and H.R. 3854. Is there any objection to considering any of these bills in block? Hearing no objection, so ordered. The clerk shall report the bills.
En bloc.
The bills were circulated in advance, and pursuant to committee rules, I ask that the reading of the bills be dispensed with, and without objection, so ordered. Each of these bills has an amendment in the nature of a substitute, which I ask unanimous consent to consider as base text. Without objection, so ordered. Does any member seek to speak on any of the bills included in the en bloc? Representative Kennedy, we'll start there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do wish to speak on the en bloc.
The gentleman's recognized.
Again, thank you, Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Takano, members of the committee. We are grateful for the opportunity not only to speak in support of this en bloc, which contains my bill honoring our Heroes Act, but all of our collective efforts in a bipartisan fashion to make this a reality. The Honoring Our Heroes Act was born from conversations with military families in Western New York, families who've discovered after their loved one's passing that they did not qualify for a VA-issued headstone simply because of a date written into federal code. Right now, the VA denies this honor to veterans who died before November 1st, 1990, an arbitrary cutoff put in place not out of fairness, but simply to save money. And that is wrong. As members of this esteemed committee, we all know that service doesn't expire. And the families left behind aren't looking for favors. They're simply asking that our government recognize their loved ones with the same dignity that others have been afforded and that they have earned and deserve. These men and women answered the call to serve, and the least that we can do is recognize that service. That's why I introduced the Honoring Our Heroes Act, to restore fairness, to correct this injustice, and to ensure that no veteran's memory is forgotten because of when they died. With your partnership, we're taking a meaningful step toward dignity, respect, and lasting recognition for all who have worn the uniform. And after months of hard work, this bill will finally pass this committee and hopefully go to the House floor. I again want to thank Chairman Bost, Ranking Member Takano, and their teams for working with me in my office to get this bill closer to the finish line. We don't see many acts of bipartisanship these days, but it's comforting to know that this committee can still come together to set things right for our veterans and right the wrongs of the past. Passage of this bill will mean everything to the families in each of our districts who've waited years to recognize their loved ones with the honor that they have rightfully earned. I respectfully urge the committee to support en bloc number 1. Let's help ensure that no veteran's legacy is forgotten. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Representative Barrett, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And just wanted to briefly cover the amendment in the nature of a substitute that would make technical changes to my bill, H.R. 3481, the Bipartisan Delivering Digitally for Our Veterans Act. I want to start by thanking the Derricks, Derek Tran from California and Derek Van Orden from Wisconsin, for their support of this important bill. The amendment in the nature of a substitute would include my friend and colleague Representative Van Orden's bill, the Streamlining Solid Start Communications Act. Additionally, this amendment will provide an offset that it is cost neutral and fiscally responsible. Modernizing the VA's antiquated systems is essential to ensuring that today's veterans can receive the care and services that they need and have earned through their service. The amendment would include the changes to the Solid Start program, expanding VA's outreach methods to veterans by allowing transitioning service members to get updates through digital messages as an alternative to phone calls. The amendment will also allow veterans to opt in to receive digital messaging instead of traditional mail, making it easier for them to receive GI Bill updates. I personally went to college using the GI Bill at a time when we did not have text messaging and other digital means of communication that were available today. This change will provide veterans with better access to information and benefits for which they are eligible and entitled to. It will make things easier for them along the way. It's time to modernize the VA's electronic messaging system, and it's time to finally bring the VA into the 21st century. I urge my colleagues to support H.R. 3481 as amended, and I yield back. Thank you.
Gentleman yields back. I now recognize the representative from Illinois, Representative Baczynski, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to speak in favor of two bills in this en bloc. I want to thank my colleague on this committee, Congressman Hamadeh, for his collaboration on two bipartisan bills, H.R. 2034 and H.R. 3767. My bill, H.R. 2034, the Edith North Rogers STEM Scholarship Opportunity Act, would help ease the transition for our student vets seeking a STEM education by modifying eligibility requirements for the Edith North Rogers STEM Scholarship Program. This scholarship has proven crucial to getting more veterans involved in STEM fields, but feedback from veterans and a 2022 GAO report has shown that current eligibility requirements are barriers for many of our student veterans. My bill would address these barriers by lowering the minimum number of credit hours required and allowing student veterans to apply for the scholarship before their post-9/11 GI Bill benefits run out, which would allow for a smooth transition of funding for their education. I also want to speak in support of H.R. 3767, the Health Professional Scholarship Program Improvements Act. VA's Health Professional Scholarship Program supports students pursuing healthcare careers while connecting VA with talented staff. But when program participants graduate, they are often met with delays in receiving a contract. Amid VHA staffing shortages, we need solutions to address this inefficiency. This legislation would streamline the path for HPSP participants to start working full-time, making it easier for veterans to get the care that they need. I urge my colleagues to support these two bills as amended and vote aye to en bloc number 1. Thank you, and I yield back.
General lady yields back. Does other body seek? Dr. Morrison, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wish to speak to the en bloc.
You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise in support of the ANS to H.R. 3854, the Modernizing All Veterans and Survivors Claims Processing Act. This legislation includes the Justice for America's Veterans and Survivors Act, which I am proudly co-leading with my colleague from North Carolina, Mr. Edwards. Our bipartisan legislation asks VA to report to Congress on the prevailing causes of death among veterans. Knowing that thorough and accurate data is essential to informing the decisions we make as legislators, so it's critical that we have the best data available to monitor and respond to the most significant challenges facing our veterans after their service. Whether it be veteran suicide, toxic exposure, or other harmful illness, this information will help both VA and Congress develop policy responses and necessary interventions to the most serious conditions facing our veterans today. The data reported under this legislation also includes information on veterans with service-connected disability, which will help support surviving family members and ensure they gain timely access to the services and benefits they are entitled to. I want to thank the chairman and the ranking member for their support, along with Representative Edwards for his partnership on this legislation. I urge my colleagues to support the en bloc, and I yield back.
The gentlewoman yields back. Does anyone else seek recognition? Seeing none. The question now occurs on agreeing to each of the amendments in the nature of a substitute included in the en bloc. All those in favor, vote, say aye. 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 All those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the amendments in the nature of a substitute are agreed to. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. I now recognize Ranking Member Takano for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the bills considered en bloc with amendments, H.R. 2034, H.R. 2137, H.R. 2701, H.R. 2721, H.R. 2791, H.R. 2954, H.R. 3123, H.R. 3481, H.R. 3579, H.R. 3767, H.R. 3812, H.R. 3834, and H.R. 3854 be reported favorably to the House.
There is a motion to favorably report the bills as amended, including the en bloc, to the House of Representatives. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the bill as amended are favorably reported to the House.
Mr. Chairman, pursuant to House Rule Clause 2, I give notice of intent to file minority supplemental, additional, or dissenting views on the amended bills H.R. 2034, H.R. 2137, H.R. 2701, H.R. 2721, H.R. 2791, H.R. 2954, H.R. 3123, H.R. 3481, H.R. 3579, H.R. 3767, H.R. 3812, H.R. 3834, and H.R. 3854 on all of those.
Yes. Without objection. There we go.